Please be seated. Tired yet? D, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Platt?
Here.
Mr. Rabbit?
Here.
Mrs. Cito? Here. Mayor Vigona?
Here. This meeting is being held in accordance with the requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act. Due notice of this meeting has been published by the clerk in both the Courier Post and Inquirer newspapers. Also, a copy of the annual meeting notice has been posted on the bulletin board after the Township Clerk's office. I'm obligated by the order of the Fire Marshal to advise that there is a no smoking policy in the building. Please take notice of the emergency exits to the rear of the room. Finally, you should be aware that this meeting is being videotaped and will be shown on channel 19 and 38 at a later date. We will now be swearing in Committeewoman Jackie Fetright by Mayor Vigona. Okay.
I, Jackie Fetright,
I, Jackie Fetright,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will impartially and justly
that I will impartially and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of Voorhees Township Committeewoman
of Voorhees Township Committee
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Sure. Absolutely.
You can stay right here. Oh no, can't touch this. No, we're talking. Hi everyone, thank you all for coming. I'm so excited to be here with my family. Unfortunately, my husband is traveling for work this week and missed it, but I am lucky to have my parents and my favorites, my little boys, here with me today. I'd like to thank again all of you for being here on this very exciting evening for me and for my family. And I'd just like to thank a couple of people who really were quite the dream team for me, especially as a novice at this, and offered me so much support and guidance. Stuart and Donna Platt, and Stuart I know is not here right now, but thank you so much. Howard Long and Chris and Dan Long, thank you so much for all of your help and support. I really do appreciate everything that you've done for me in helping me navigate the past couple of months, and I would not have been able to do it without you. New friends that I've made and who have really shared their support of me over the past few months have been Kate Hardesty and Gwen and Stella and the Strommel family, who are all here, as well as I've gotten wonderful introductions to what life will be like starting as of today from Mario Di Natale, from Larry, and from Chief Bordy. So thank you all so much. I'd also really like to thank this amazing team that is behind me, that I am so honored to be joining soon, sitting up a little bit higher. Michelle and Jason, thank you so much. I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to have gotten to know you and to get to know you more. And I'm really looking forward to all the wonderful things that I think we are going to do together going forward. Harry, who I've known longer than most people in this room. I don't think that when I was babysitting your children at the age of 14 that I would have expected to have been a colleague of yours. And what I can tell you is that you know that I have always and still respect you immensely and care for you and your family so much, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be sitting next to you.
Ditto.
Yeah. And Mayor Mike, this is pretty awkward, which is one of the things that I am, so it's good that I'm doing it on my first night. To have met you first in business as a colleague in the law through the Voorhees Business Association, and to have become a friend through all of those relationships in our family. I am so grateful for the mentorship that you have so unassumedly and humbly offered me, in many instances without even knowing it. And I'm really, really very honored to be doing this with you. So thank you. I'm also thankful for, I'm going to face forward now, for the person whose seat is now empty that I am filling, and primarily to Mike Friedman for leaving some very big shoes to fill. And I think that he knows me well enough that there's really no better way to motivate, I said Mike Friedman, didn't I? To motivate a type A goal-getter than to leave a really big space to fill. And that I hope that I am capable of doing that for this town, and also for being my friend and someone whose opinion I respect and value despite often coming at it from very opposite ends. I also want to mainly thank my family. Again, my husband is not here with us today as he's in Florida enjoying much warmer weather for business, but he is the rock of our family. It's probably likely that more people know me, but if you know what goes on in our home, none of the things that I do would be possible without him and his support. He's the most amazing and loving and caring person. I'd also like to thank these two very active and wiggly children up here with me. This right here is the reason that I am standing before you. It is the reason that when I was honored with the question if I would consider serving as your committee person, that I said yes. I want my children to know how to be engaged in their community in a way that is civil, in a way that is diligent, in a way that is smart and thoughtful, and I hope to model that for them. I hope to also model stillness for them, but we're working on that. Okay. Come on. And lastly, my parents who are here with me today, and I guess first and foremost to thank my dad, Joe Perno, for deciding to move his business to Voorhees in the early 90s, which then meant that our family needed to follow soon thereafter, and exposing me to this community that I've grown up with and love so very much. And mainly, though, of course, to my mom for her support since my eyes opened in this world. There are very many times when I didn't believe that I could do a great many of things. Her belief in me has never once wavered, and it is because of her love and support that I'm able to do the things that I do, including have the honor of serving this community now. Most importantly, I want to thank our residents. I want to thank this community in which I grew up. I attended school, returned here to raise my family because of how much I value and love this town. I have friends here from 3 decades ago. I have friends here who found me my home. I have friends here who I just met this past September at back to school night. I intend to continue to engage with more and more residents of the community, and what better platform than the one that I'm standing on now to meet and get to know more of the people of this town that I love so much. I keep saying how much I love this town. You're really lucky that I'm not tech savvy enough to like break into the speaker system and blast Bon Jovi's I love this town, because that's the feels I'm having right now. But other than my gratitude to those people and so many more, which is really so great, I don't think there's sufficient airtime, and I've probably taken up enough time of your evening so far. I do want to express to you my primary goal, and I do have a promise. And I know there's lots of jokes about politicians and government and promises, but I do have a promise to you that I can keep and I will keep. And that is, I want to be the ears of this committee for you. I want to listen. I'm surprised half of you aren't in stitches given the amount I talk that I'm talking about listening, but I really want to be sure that we are engaging in conversations from today and forward throughout my term about what you all as residents of this town see, what you love, what you would like to see changed, and any other concerns, happinesses. I want to hear about your successes. I want to hear about your trials. I want to hear about all of those things. So what I can promise you, and particularly to those in my immediate community who most likely are here in this town with 2 working parents, school-aged children, doing all the things on the soccer field, at your churches, at your community centers, and all of the other places. In the limited time that you have, what is it that you want this town to know about how you feel? And I want all, and that extends to everyone, just mentioning the people who I know are in a similar position to me. So again, I can make that promise to you while I learn. And again, I have 4 wonderful people up here who I know will help me navigate those ropes and learn. While I'm learning, I would also like to learn from you. So thank you again so much for this honor to serve you. I am very, very much looking forward to getting to work for this town. So thank you.
Now you have to come up here. Jackie, come to sit.
I was already taking a break.
My one job today.
Indeed. We now do a roll call of the full committee, please.
Yep. Ms. Fetboy?
Present.
Mr. Platt?
Here.
This is a roll call vote, so we need a yes or no. It's
Oh,
the
it's-
roll call vote.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we need a yes or no. Mrs.
Thank
Fetboy?
you. Yes,
Mr.
excitedly
Platt?
yes.
Yes.
Mr. Rabbits?
Yes.
Mrs. Zito?
Yes.
Mayor Mignota?
Yes.
I'd like to recognize 2 county freeholders that are here with us tonight, Jeff Nash and Linda Kane. They're Thank you. I'd like to ask for a motion for the position of Mayor of the Township of Voorhees.
I'll make,
We'll both motion.
we'll both make a motion for Mike
Mike
Mignona to be the mayor for, I don't know what year this is, but 15? Is it
2020.
2020?
Second.
We'll ask for a motion to close nominations. There's no one else.
Motion to close? Thanks, Jeff.
Second.
Roll call vote on the nomination of Michael McDonough as mayor of the Township of Voorhees.
Ms. Fetboy?
Yes.
Mr. Platt?
Yes.
Mr. Rabbits?
Yes.
Mrs. Zito?
Yes.
Mayor Mignota?
Yes.
Mayor McDonough will now be sworn in by his brother.
Paul McMillan. I, Paul McMillan, solemnly swear. Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States. That I will support the Constitution of the United States. And the Constitution of the State of New Jersey. And the Constitution of the State of New Jersey. And that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. And that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. And to the governments established in the United States. And the governments established in the United States. And in this state. And in this state. Under the authority of the people. Under the authority of the people. I further do solemnly swear. I further do solemnly swear that I will impartially and justly, perform all of the duties of the office of Voorhees Township Mayor, according to the best of my abilities, so help me God.
Thank you very much, and good evening, everybody, to our guests, our fellow public servants, and my family and friends who are here. First, I want to congratulate my friend Jackie Feproy on taking a seat up here with this township committee. We all look forward to working together and doing some good things, so we're thrilled to have you. I want to thank my colleagues on township committee for once again giving me the honor and the privilege to serve as the mayor of this wonderful community. It's not something I've ever taken lightly. I take it very seriously. I work hard governmentally to make our residents proud and to make this committee proud. And I also work hard to be the best ambassador for Voorhees Township that I can be, because I really believe that's one of the roles of the mayor. So again, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I really appreciate it. Few things about 2019. This very town center is, imagine this, once again, ready to go over another makeover. One of our biggest challenges is this town center, and we're bringing in Brandywine Financial to hopefully give it the makeover that it needs. I've often said that this is the heartbeat of our community, while our heartbeat needs CPR. And we think that Brandywine Financial may be the one to do it. They're talking about bringing in high-end housing, commercial retail, getting a concessionaire's liquor license to open up multiple pubs and breweries and wine bars, and making the food court sort of an Xfinity Live kind of thing. And they also want to do a Jake's Place, an indoor Jake's Place, the first of its kind in our area. And we're thrilled about that idea. So we're looking forward to working with Brandywine Financial in that regard. The virtual medical campus continues to thrive and be an economic magnet for our township, creating jobs and tax revenue and businesses. We look forward to the $35 million proton therapy center that we hope will get started this year. This committee continued to make sure that our roads and our sewer systems work efficiently and effectively. We have 110 miles of township roads here in Voorhees Township. Some of you may not have known that. And in 2019, we repaved 18 of those roads as part of our 5-year road program. We're in the 3rd year of our sewer line rehab using what's called a slip lining. It's a thing with a camera that goes into the sewers to make sure they're working properly. We upgraded the Beagle Club pump station. We redesigned the intersection of Centennial Boulevard and Old Egg Harbor Road. We gave it a pedestrian crosswalk and a pedestrian flashing light to make it safe for people who cross there, particularly all the Eastern High School students who use that intersection. And we bought a new compressed natural gas bus for our senior citizens. Our parks and recreational facilities continue to be the best in South Jersey. We repaved and added sidewalk at the Lions Lake Complex. We replaced the Kirkwood Park Playground and added benches. And we resurfaced the tennis court at Round Hill Playground, and we added striping for a new phenomenon called pickleball. If any of you have played it, it's a cool game. So we're welcoming that to Voorhees Township now. We continue to work on our environment. We're proud that our environmental commission, once again, through their green initiatives, attained silver accreditation with Sustainable Jersey. Still not sure why there's not a gold accreditation, but there isn't. Silver is the highest you can get, and once again, we've achieved it, so I'm very proud of them. working with our Kirkwood Lake residents to make sure that lake gets dredged, perhaps this year. We're keeping our fingers crossed. Voorhees Township recycled almost 11,000 tons of trash in 2019, and we're very proud of that. We're always looking to improve our public safety to make sure our families are safe. We'll continue with our most proud program, which is a police officer in every school, every day, all day, to keep our kids safe. We were the first to do that in this area, and we're very proud of that. We added 2 sergeants to our police department, and we now have 57 officers. Our police department this year became accredited by the New Jersey Association of Police Chiefs. Very proud of that. In our fire department, we hired 8 new full-time firefighters. We added a brand new ambulance. We brought nebulizer equipment for our EMTs, so they're now able to provide breathing treatment on the scene to people who need it. We bought hydraulic lift equipment for all of our ambulances that will allow them to lift heavy, large objects like trees or cars to save lives. All of our ambulances will have that. And we swore in a new deputy chief and 2 new lieutenants to our fire department. We continue our battle against the opioid crisis, which is prevalent in South Jersey and, believe it or not, right here in Voorhees Township. We continued with our LEAD program at VMS and partnered with the county on Project SAVE, identifying people who have drug problems early on, giving them the help they need instead of sending them to jail. Our Voorhees Fire Department and Police Department continued their active role in our community. I can't say enough about how proud I am of what they do, not so much only on duty, but off duty. With their National Night Out on August 6th, the Junior and Adult Police Academy, giving people a chance to play cop. Our 4th Police Foundation car show, thanks to Michelle Nacito and her husband Jason Gonter, raising money for our Police Foundation. Our Coffee with a Cop program, and this year, Badge and Burritos program. Our Fire Prevention Night on October 3rd. Our Police Holiday Fund, which provides meals and toys for underprivileged kids in Voorhees Township. And our Santa on a Truck and Cookies with Santa. Our fire department does such wonderful things with those 2 programs that to see the kids' faces light up is just unbelievable. And we're continuing with our Voorhees Saves Lives program. Many of you are familiar with that. It gives free rides home from Voorhees bars and restaurants to Voorhees residents. This year, we incorporated the Chop House into that program, for many of you who frequent the Chop House. And we're also in discussions with surrounding towns to bring them into the program to make sure that more people are using it. We've seen about a 20% decrease in DUI arrests since we instituted this program, and I've always said if it saves one life, the program is well worth it. We continue with our popular community events, our 16th summer series with the beer garden and the food trucks, our Halloween festival with our pumpkin patch provided by our VBA, again, our Santa parade, and many of you may or may not remember the old drive-in movies. Well, I grew up in Camden, and believe it or not, the first drive-in movie was in Camden, New Jersey. I used to go there as a kid. Well, they sort of went away, and our guy, Mario Di Natale, decided to have a drive-in movie night here at the Voorhees Town Center. Great idea. Hundreds of cars came on a beautiful night and watched the classic, The Wizard of Oz, and I expect we're going to be doing that again this year, Mario. Thank you. The arts are alive and well here in Voorhees Township. This year we celebrated the 1st anniversary of our Arts Council and our Arts Center. This year, the Arts Center had 130 art activities with 1,700 participants in those activities. They had special activities geared toward children, seniors, and people with disabilities, so all could be included. Another successful Arts on the Boulevard, 30 artists showed off their work. We partnered with a group called Book Smiles, which collects books for underprivileged schools in the area. We opened up a book drop at the Voorhees Township Police Department. It's a wonderful program, and we're glad to be part of it. We worked hard on what is always our biggest challenge, which is to control spending, but to provide high quality of services. We continue with our sidearm collection to save manpower. We've engaged in sensible shared services agreements with Cherry Hill, Berlin Borough, Laurel Springs, Pine Valley, Stratford, Gibbsboro, Eastern Regional High School, and the Voorhees Schools. We use our CNG trucks and buy our power directly from the source to save thousands of dollars a year in our budget. And this year, we received $921,000 in grants, which we use for our roads, for our police department, for our fire department, for recreation, and for sidewalks. It's always important, as I say every year, to make sure we have a thriving business community, and we work hard to make sure existing businesses thrive and to attract new business. Our Shop Voorhees program, which gives tax credits to people who buy in Voorhees, now has 28 businesses involved. In the years since that program came into existence, there have been $2 million in tax credits realized by our residents. And that program is starting to spread because people are starting to realize it's a win-win, not just for the businesses, but for the residents. Eagle Plaza went for a $2 million facelift this year. Edge Fitness is coming to the former Gennardi's. Jefferson Health built a physician's assistant school on Laurel Oak Road, the first of its kind in the state of New Jersey. In July, we wanted to get the pulse of the township regarding medical cannabis. So we had a public hearing. We had a full courtroom. Every person who got up at that hearing spoke in favor of medical cannabis and spoke in favor of how it helped them or loved ones. Following that lead, this past December 16th, this committee adopted a resolution bringing medical cannabis to Voorhees Township. In 2019, 33 new businesses opened in Voorhees Township, and our VBA celebrated its 30th anniversary. I know Committeewoman Fetroy is very involved in that. She's been on the board, and we're very proud of the work that our VBA does. We look forward to a very busy and effective and exciting 2020, working with Brandywine to give this place a makeover and help it be a destination site again, to continue to see that the medical mile thrives, hopefully seeing that proton therapy $30 million facility take life, expand sensible shared services agreements, and work with the VBA and our business development group to make sure our businesses thrive here in Voorhees Township. We'll continue to work to make sure our infrastructure is strong. Our 2020 road program will see 16 local roads paved. We're going to rehab the Sturbridge Lakes 4-main pump, rehab the Avion pump station, continue using our slip lining program, install new ADA-approved sidewalks at the Myrota complex, replace the playground at the Gian Giulio complex, construct a pavilion at the playground area in Connolly Park, and again, build an indoor Jake's facility here at the town center that allows kids of all abilities to play together. We're very proud of that, and Deputy Mayor Ravitz was very influential in bringing that to our town, so I appreciate that. We will give our police and fire the resources they need to keep our families safe and continue with our police officer in every school, every day. Our community events, we'll have our 17th summer series, and we'll have another drive-in, our fall festival, our Halloween parade, and our Santa on a truck. I say every year that, and I really mean this from my heart, that Voorhees is really such a special place because of so many special people that are here and that are part of our community. I have always said that I believe that teaching is the most noble of all professions. Well, this year, one of our own, Kimberly Dickstein Hughes, was named the New Jersey Teacher of the Year, and we're very proud of that. Yes. She grew up in Voorhees. She went to Voorhees schools. She went to Eastern, and she has said that teaching is a call to action, which I really believe. So we're privileged to have her as part of our community. People like Ray Boutwell, who you may or may not have heard of, but Ray's a 93-year-old World War II veteran who got bored of retirement. So what did he do? He cashed in his pension and decided to make cupcakes with alcohol in them. Yeah, true story. Yeah. Most of my friends will clap for that one, yeah. 93 years old, he opened up Ray's Boozy Cupcakes on Route 561. If you haven't checked it out yet, please check it out. He is a gem, he is a treasure, and his story became a national story. So we're very proud of Ray Batwell. People like our police officer who randomly went to dinner one night at a restaurant, I think it might have been a diner, and his waitress happened to be a single mother who was pregnant with her first child. What did that cop do? He left her a $100 tip, no questions asked. She thanked him with tears. He said, look, enjoy your first pregnancy, enjoy your child, I'm happy to be part of it. That's the kind of things that our first responders do in Voorhees, and that's what makes me proud. People like our own Joe Perno and Roseanne Perno, who are here this evening. They've spent so much of their time involved in the VBA, Project Smiles, free dental care with the homeless, raising money for the MS Society. I could go on and on and on. It's people like them that make Voorhees very special. I'm very lucky to have them as neighbors, and I think Jackie would say she's very lucky to have them as her parents. So thank you, Joe. Families, like the DiNatale family, like the Gunther family, like the Lemanowitz family, like the Mulford family, who have made it their passion to make life better for young kids in memory of their own children who are looking down from heaven. Special families. Some personal things in 2019 for me. Over the holidays, I was asked by the Symphony of Southern New Jersey if I would recite the "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" with a full orchestra behind me. Now you may think that's easy. It's not easy. I had to go to 2 rehearsals. I had to practice, and everybody knows the first couple lines of "The Night Before Christmas," but it's a lot longer than you would think. It really is. One of the scariest things I've ever done, but one of the coolest things I've ever done. I thank them for that opportunity. Again, having the honor of riding in the fire truck with Santa on the back and watching the faces on those thousands of kids when Santa arrives, there's nothing better than to see hundreds of kids beaming with smiles. Once again, and Jeanette is here, my favorite evening of the year is when we have our Veterans Wall ceremony. Jeanette Shellberg and Rick are here this evening, and they are really the spirit behind it. I hope that you've had an opportunity to see it as you came in this evening, and please take a moment as you leave to take a look at it. And this year we added a very special piece to it, the Chair of Honor for POWs and MIAs. So please take a look at it on your way out. And one of my memories is on the evening of November 27th, when myself and Chief Bordy and pretty much all of our police department packed into Iron Hill Brewery to support one of our own. And that was to support our school police officer, Scott Davis, who's having some medical challenges. The restaurant was packed, and the thing about Voorhees is anytime somebody is in need, Voorhees always steps up, and that makes me very proud. Some thank yous to our township employees, to our professionals who do their job quietly, efficiently, and make me and this committee look good, most of the time. To our many volunteers on our boards and commissions who give us their time without asking for anything in return. It's not an easy thing, and time is so important, but they give us their time. To my brother Steve for once again swearing me in this evening, I appreciate it. To my lovely lady Katie, who's my support system and my most trusted advisor, thank you. My son Matt for being here, holding the Bible. He had quite a year. He married the love of his life in August, and we had a 3-day party up in the Poconos. He continues to teach middle school, and we just found out that he's realizing another one of his dreams. He was named assistant baseball coach at Morristown High School. All he has ever wanted to do was to teach and coach, and it makes me so proud. To my daughter Marie, who is now in her 2nd year in London, and I can't wait till she gets the hell home. I'm so proud of her for being so bold and independent to do this. I miss her every day, but she's doing great. And to my oldest daughter, Kelly, who is an amazing working mother and such a great mother to my precious little granddaughter, Lucy. And as Jackie said, I do this for my kids and for my granddaughter. One thing I would just like to talk about before I end, the diversity of the Voorhees community. You can look around this room and see the diversity. It makes me proud. I celebrated Diwali and Holi with our Hindu community. I went to the Muslim American school graduation at our mosque on Route 561. I went to the Hope Church tree lighting. I went to the AME Church Memorial Day service, traditionally African American church on Route 73. I went to several candlelight vigils in support of our Jewish community. I went to the Blue Mass with Chief Bordy. As a Roman Catholic, it just makes me proud to honor our first responders. Thousands of people gather every year to honor our first responders. It's always a touching ceremony. As we speak, there's a Cambodian temple rising on Route 561. I enjoy every year celebrating Filipino Independence Day with my dear friend Gwen De Vera. I enjoy celebrating Pakistani Independence Day every year. This year, I especially enjoyed my own heritage, celebrating Columbus Day with the Sons of Italy, and I actually had a couple beers on St. Paddy's Day because I'm half Irish. This committee honored 3 beautiful, inspirational children a few months ago with Down syndrome. And we honored them as superheroes. Another very, very special night here in Voorhees Township. And this evening, I expect, as we move along with the meeting, that we are going to appoint my good friend Karen Veer-Panu, who is sitting right here, to our zoning board. He will be the first member of the Sikh religion to sit on one of our boards. Congratulations. We were the first township to form a diversity committee to make sure that our residents understand the diverse nature of our community, to celebrate our differences, to embrace our differences. And I'm so proud of what they do, and they had another successful International Day. Thank you so much. I was honored to officiate weddings for heterosexual couples, for gay couples, for lesbian couples, and for transgender couples. There's no more passionate advocate for women than my friend, Deputy Mayor Michelle Nocito, and I expect that Committeewoman Jackie Fetboy will join in that cause. There's no more passionate warriors against the ugliness of anti-Semitism than my friends and colleagues Harry Platt and Jason Ravitz. In Voorhees, we love and embrace people of all colors, religions, and sexual orientations. We love and celebrate all children. There will always be bad people in the world. There will always be haters in the world. But hate against one of us is hate against all of us. Hate has no place in Voorhees Township, not in this town, and not under our watch. Happy New Year. Next is motion to nominate the deputy mayor. I will nominate Jason Ravitz and Michelle Nocito as deputy mayors. Is there a second?
And for my very first second, I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Maybe have a roll call vote, please.
Ms. Fetboy?
Yes.
Mr. Platt?
Yes.
Ms. Ravitz?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Mr.
It's
Ravitz.
okay.
Ms. Nocito? Mayor Bingo?
Go with that.
Yes.
me.
I think I forgot.
You forgot me. You forgot Miss Ness.
I did, I said.
She said.
You did? I think he answered for me,
Mr.
which
Ramos.
is
It's
his fault.
Cito.
Yes.
And Jason Ravitz will be sworn in by Eric Risa, Esquire. Good evening, Eric.
I'm right-handed. And I'm used to people yelling at me during swearing in. It's always a joke.
I state your name.
I, Jason Ravitz,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of Deputy Mayor
of Deputy Mayor
of Voorhees Township
of Voorhees Township
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
I'll try to be brief, and that was a joke about people yelling at me and everything. People here know like, I'm a little sarcastic, and that's just me, sorry. I want to say mazel tov to Mr. and Mrs. Perno, to Jackie, welcome.
Thank you.
To your children, Dr. Joe, we go back a little bit. I think you were one of the first people I kind of met, economic development, the VBA, when I moved to Voorhees about 15 years ago. You made me feel like very welcome. You know, I was just a kid from Cherry Hill coming here and felt like people were like, what's he doing here? So I never forgot that. Thank you and congratulations. I'm happy to have you. This is like a real type A crew, so you'll fit right in and it's all good. The first thing I want to say is thank you very much to the first responders in Voorhees. Last week, was it Thursday, Friday? We had the bomb threat at VMS. It was the first day back of school, so it was Thursday. And my son Andrew graduated from VMS. He's at Eastern now. And my daughter's in 8th grade at VMS. So for better or worse, with the advent of cell phones, I had like real-time coverage of what was going on. And as my daughter's texting me, I'm texting the chief. And as they're walking through Lost Street, are you okay? Are you cold? Are you warm? I wanted to say thank you to the Voorhees Police Department, to the Voorhees Fire Department, Chief Bordy, who's in charge of both. Deputy Chief Donnelly's here, incognito, but he's right there, hiding. Thank you, because under a super stressful situation, a bomb threat, that by the way went viral, if people saw it online at the same time, complicating all these men and women's jobs to keep the kids safe, the teachers safe, and themselves safe, God forbid. They executed the plan that they had, I mean, to the nth degree. And as a parent, first of all, I'm grateful. I don't even forget about this stuff. I mean, the fact that our kids were able to walk through that neighborhood and evacuate VMS and go to Eastern, and it was completely seamless. It was, let's go. And then let the canines, I don't want to forget the canines, I'm a dog lover, so let the canines go through and sweep and them take their time, because it is a big school. I said it on Facebook. unfortunately, people were trying to use Voorhees against some deficiencies, maybe in Cherry Hill, it was the schools. That's not the place for it, and we have nothing to do with that. But I want to say thank you to our first responders in EMS, fire, police, led by Chief Bordy, who's in charge of both, because our kids truly have friends in their school resource officers and the Voorhees PD that's assigned to the schools, and they feel comfortable, and they were not freaking out. They trusted who they were with. So thank you very much to all the men and women. To some of the department heads that are here, some of you want to be called on, D, Kathy, Joe, Mario, Dean's not here. Am I missing anyone? I already mentioned the deputy chief. Thank you for putting up with us. I know we're a little bit of a raucous group, and everyone's probably expecting another Voorhees circus tonight, but there is no circus tonight, as you can see. It's all good, and everyone's doing their thing, but you guys sit through the meetings with us, and you know, we try to go through every iota of everything we do, and it's not just rubber stamp time. And I know sometimes we drive you guys crazy, but for me, and I can't speak for anybody else, I try to put into this particular elected official job what I put into being a dad, what I put into in my family business, because it's the only speed I kind of know. And I appreciate what you guys do, and I appreciate you guys, you know, dealing with all of us, because you're probably like, what are they, we got it under control, because I would be the same way. But thank you very much, and Joe, God help you, it's like snow season. So Joe's the head of our public works, if everyone doesn't know, but most of you guys know him. But these guys keep our roads safe. I want to take a moment and recognize, I've been on the Voorhees Planning Board for I think about a decade. And that was Mario and Harry's mistake, getting me involved in that at Panera probably a decade ago. We have a few retirements this year. It seems like all at once. Our chair, Tom Finelli, who's been the chair for over 20 years, is stepping down in the name of succession on his own. We would have kept him, loved to have him. He's a great chair. It's not easy doing that job. But Tom officiated his last meeting a couple weeks ago. Stella Sitnick, you're hiding right there. Stella is now actually working in the zoning office in the town, and answered the phone the other day, and I did like a double take because she knew it was me. And but Stella will be a huge asset for this town in zoning, planning. If she's called on to help Mario with business development and community relations, because she is literally all over the place in this county, helping out and doing things, and is selfless. Kelly Jo is I think you might have beat her, by the way, now. I don't know, but because we never talked about your age, but I think she was like 21 or 22 when she got on the planning board. And Kelly Jo and Stella were always to my right, and we would laugh and joke. And you know, I have my iPad up there, and I got accused of watching like Phillies games during the summer, but I really wasn't. Tom was watching Phillies games. No, I had the agenda there, and we always had a good time. But Kelly Jo is getting married, so she is moving out of town, or has moved, and we wish her luck in life and what it has to offer. She's also a teacher here, and she could be Teacher of the Year. So, and then Vaughn Vandergrift. So Vaughn used to sit right there, and when I first got on, every question was about the fire department. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know anything about anybody. But then I quickly learned and started spending time with Vaughn, and we do not have the easiest of planning boards, and it's for people like Vaughn that take the time, do the research, ask the questions. He has an area of expertise that nobody else up there has, to make sure that from a safety perspective, that anything that's getting built in this town, that the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed. And we thank Vaughn for his service, and his loyalty, and I can go on and on about all four of the people I just mentioned. But I wanted to say thank you for your service and thank you for your time, because being on planning and zoning, you do not get paid for your time, and a lot of times you are getting torched by the public, for better or worse. And it sometimes can be really difficult, and stand there and keep your cool and be calm and even think straight. So thank you very much for your service to the town. I want to welcome onto the planning board. I'm really not supposed to deal with zoning board, so but congratulations. Troy Bracco's moving over from zoning to planning. Brian Stein, who's a resident of Sturbridge, will be joining us as an alternate. Mark Kleiman will also be joining us as a member of the planning board. And then our new chairman, who comes from our zoning board, who's an architect by trade, Ron Schwenke, is here tonight. So Ron will be taking over the planning board, and Mario and I and Andy and Subash, we look forward to serving you. Good luck keeping us all in control. You have some big shoes to fill in regards with that, Subash, and you've got, we have Wednesday night for that. But I wanted to congratulate all of our newcomers. In terms of, and I'll try to speed this up, in terms of, kind of Jackie said goals for this year. I think there's two things for me. Number one, even though I was a little bit of a naysayer on the mall, that was because of the developer. It had anything to do with planning or anybody on kind of our side. It was more the process. But Jake's Place, getting that going. And Mario and I got an email today from Art Aston, who's the executive director for Jake's Place. And Art is an incredible man. I go back with him probably 20 years, my family does, back to when Camden County and Cherry Hill decided to build the project there. Jake, by the way, was a Voorhees resident, for those of you that don't know, when he was sick. But his grandparents will be helping us as well through the project, but Art's executive director. We're looking at locating it, and we have architectural plans to locate it in the Macy's. And I'm hoping we can get to work on this. Mario and I were emailing with Arthur today with the plans to get them reviewed, and then hopefully Brandywine settles with the current owners of the mall. That all goes smooth, and we get going. But it would be the first indoor all abilities playground in the country that we know of. That's for all abilities. And that the Jake's Place people were psyched about it because 365 days a year, 52 weeks, any kid coming from one of the pediatric facilities can participate, versus when it is outside, it can be hard on some of the children coming over. So Mario and I were sitting in a meeting with a group. I forget who else was with us, because this was about a year and a half ago. And when it came up, I was like, no, we're building at Connolly and we're done. Like, I want to get things. And then Mario said, hold on, this could be cool. And the Jake's Place people said, let's go. And then every time the mall kind of went forward, back, forward. This is what I was concerned about, because we made a commitment to the town, get us on the map for our kids. We have the Voorhees pediatric facility right in our backyard by Eastern. And kids come to the Cherry Hill location from 100 miles away. So this will get tremendous use. Mario and I are trying to put some other things into it. He probably had a little bit of a heart attack today when I mentioned adding some amenities that are going to be expensive. But on that note, Mario and I, who are very experienced at fundraising, right, Mario? This is why he wants to retire. The Rolodexes are coming out, and we're going to do everything we can to ease the burden on the taxpayers. We're fortunate because of what my predecessors, even that I was talking to Harry yesterday or the day before, I mean, and the mayor did, and staff here, before Michelle and I and Jackie came on, the economic and fiscal responsibility Mario was on, Joe was on, that you guys showed to get this town in line financially. We're not playing catch up. We're in good financial shape, and it doesn't mean we should make bad decisions, but we should invest in good ones. And once again, last year I said, because I thought we were doing Connolly Park, I will gladly donate half my salary from the township to the Jake's Place. I'm in. My father's written a check for a couple $1,000s, and my brother. So collectively, my family will kickstart it with over $10,000 to get Jake's Place going and try to get some other people, especially in the corporate world, involved. And then lastly, people that know me and follow me on social media, I'm definitely a little outspoken when it comes, and I appreciate the mayor. Usually when Mike talks, my favorite part of Reorg is when Mike talks about his children. And I know that I've seen it a bunch of times now, and I get goosebumps. And when you're a dad, you will see, like, I get it. My son's sitting there like, Dad's. But that's usually my favorite part, and I'm getting goosebumps talking about it now, when Mike talks about his kids, because he gets choked up anytime, and that's awesome as a dad. And with your daughters and your son, grandchildren, and your other son, I mean, to me, it's awesome. But tonight, when you spoke of hate and that we're one community, to me, that's my thing, and Mike recognized that. For me, it's the community. This is a melting pot. Our area, South Jersey, is a melting pot. I grew up Jewish. I grew up more of a Zionist or pro-Israel than I would say being a practicing, going to synagogue all the time type of Jewish person. But I appreciate Mike recognizing that. And the other day, there was a car driving around town with a Nazi flag, swastika, in the back. And it was reported on Facebook, got a little viral, and the police had to get involved in multiple townships. And our police right now, our law enforcement, their hands are tied in a lot of ways when you have situations like that because of free speech. Well, inciting a reaction, if you have free speech, don't expect you're not going to get a reaction if you're inciting with that kind of a symbol. And our police need, and I know I've seen pictures of you with the AG, and the New Jersey AG wrote an op-ed last week when he went to visit the children who were supposed to be the targets of the Jersey City shooting at the kosher grocery store. And the Attorney General of New Jersey listed, steps. Some of them, to me, communication, education. Our law enforcement needs the tools that when someone's driving around with a swastika flag or something that would be offensive, a KKK symbol in the back of their car, anything like that is antagonistic, it's harassment. I don't care if someone's doing it to someone, they're driving through for a reason. Our law enforcement needs the tools to deal with that, and the New Jersey AG said he needs to do some things to address that, to give our police, give our prosecutors the tools to stop it so that you don't have vigilante situations, or we don't, on our hands, because that's the last thing we need. And in that kind of vein, not only will I pledge, I've already talked to Senator Beach about his office writing a letter and then obviously following up, and I intend to lobby the Assembly and the State Senate. But I think the only person I didn't get to start today, but Howard does know my crazy ideas, but I'm going to get together, hopefully in the next month, a town hall for the public. It'll be hate, but it'll also be anti-Semitism, because I think it will be helpful for whether you're Jewish, not Jewish, any creed, race, religion, Cherry Hill, Marlton, here, Medford, wherever, for people to just let it out. There are people that are scared, right now. I get messages every day that this happened or this, or I want you to do this, but I'm scared, don't print my name, because I don't want to be a target. The Hasidic community, the Black Hat community in our religion right now is terrified. And I think a town hall would do this area good to let things out and invite the different sects of Judaism, some other religious leaders, law enforcement, elected officials. We as elected officials, this is our responsibility to get this going. And there's not enough of that happening. And I'm not trying to point fingers at Washington or Trenton, but we're on the front lines here and we have to do something. And then the people up the ladder got to follow suit, and not for a photo op and not to get votes. People are dying. People are afraid. People are carrying guns concealed that shouldn't be carrying guns, which makes these guys' jobs really scary. And I'm not trying to scare, I'm just telling everybody the realities of the situation. And I mean, an hour away from here in Jersey City, a police officer was murdered, and then 3 Jewish people and 1 non-Jewish person were murdered at a kosher grocery store. My family has 2 kosher grocery stores in Cherry Hill. If you don't think I was horrified and my stomach dropped and my people were concerned, what are we doing? And, you know, hats off to the Cherry Hill PD. I keep, Freeholder Kate, she's from Cherry Hill and was an elected official in Cherry Hill Township before a freeholder, but thank God for Chief Monahan and his staff in Cherry Hill, because they're so helpful to my family, my business. And so I'm going to get out there and we're going to publicize it. And it doesn't have to be a township event. This can be for multiple towns. And I'd be glad to host it, and we'll find a moderator and everything like that. But it's going to be one of my projects. I think we have to have these conversations, and people got to let it out. And I think it is a way for other people who may not live in that fear that some of the people that on Crescent Road at the Chabad, when they walk in there now, they're afraid. So, other than that, I want to thank everybody in this room. Everybody in this room are the people that make the engines go to help, at least to help all of us, but to help me stay here so I can help others. And you give your time. Some of you completely for free. Some of you are trusted professionals that do an awesome job, and I think the best around. But I thank everyone in this room for your support and your unconditional support. And again, Mazel Tov to Jackie and Dr. and Mrs. Perno for this honor from the community. So thank you. I forgot Larry. Larry makes it all go for all of us, so.
Michelle Nacito will now be sworn in as Deputy Mayor by Donna Platt.
My husband is tending to the children. I would be honored if he would. He does so much for us.
Is it perfect? Does it look good from the? It does. I state your name.
Michelle Nacito,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support the Constitution
to support the
of the
Constitution
United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
and that I shall bear true faith and allegiance
and that I shall bear true faith and allegiance
to same
to same
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I do further solemnly swear
and that I do further solemnly swear
to perform all duties
I promise not to be long because I think I heard the music coming on when Jason was speaking. First, I want to thank Donna Platt. She's our first female prosecutor in the Township of Voorhees. I'm proud to have voted for that, and that's why I wanted her to swear me in tonight. So it was an honor to have you here, so thank you. She's done amazing things for our township and for our public safety team, and I think that her and the chief and our police department, they make it a tough place to commit a crime, but a good place to live if you do, and you're looking to recover from that. I also want to quickly thank Freeholder Kane, who's in our audience tonight. I know some of your story, and as a mother, I'm incredibly inspired by your strength, and I thank you for the resolve that you have to continue on and share yourself with our communities in South Jersey. So thank you, and thank you for being here. I actually didn't prepare a speech, so luckily for me, while Jason was talking, I had some time to write one out. He's like my brother, so I can say these things. I didn't prepare a speech for tonight because honestly, for me, tonight belongs to Jackie. I couldn't be more proud as a mother and as a woman to have another female join me on committee. I want to thank you to my fellow committee members and the residents of Voorhees and all the people in this room for welcoming not one but two women to represent you. I am fortunate enough to live in a community where we have people like Mayor Mignona, Jason Ravitz, Harry Platt, and many of the men who work for our township who respect and welcome the opinion of women. I will echo Michelle Williams' statement from the Golden Globes last night, which is, ladies, we are the largest voting population, and it's up to us to demonstrate the power of that this year. So I encourage you to get out and vote, and I will remain a fierce advocate for women and for all men who support us. Thank you.
Our next portion is our public portion for resolutions only. If there's anyone from the public that has any comments about any of our resolutions, please come forward.
Seeing no one, move to close public portion.
Jackie, you gotta take up the seconds for Harry.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The public portion for resolutions is closed. Our resolutions this evening are number 1-20, appointments by the mayor. Do I have a motion on that resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none of those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Our next is resolution number 2-20, approving the 2020 temporary budget. Do I have a motion on that resolution?
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none of those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Next is resolution number 3-20, appointment of our township solicitor, Wade Long, Wood and Long LLC, Howard Long and Christopher Long. Do I have a motion on that resolution?
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yeah, it's customary to have a long period of silence before we nominate Howard, but I guess those days are over.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations, Howard.
Thanks, Billy. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Looking forward to it.
Mayor, can I take 20 seconds and no more?
You can.
I just wanted to thank everyone. This is the, actually the 20th straight year that I've been appointed as solicitor in Voorhees. And living in the town, it's a real honor. And I just wanted to thank committee. Jackie, thank you for being here on my 20th appointment.
It's my
Harry,
honor.
thank you for being here and bringing me in at first so that you could be here for all my appointments. Very much appreciated.
Very welcome.
Mayor, it's been my pleasure to sit next to you for the majority of my career here. You are a class act. To our 2 deputy mayors, thank you for keeping me young. Thank you for keeping me on my toes. And most importantly, thank you for accepting my 2 boys who work in my office. It means an awful lot. We talked about our children tonight. It means an awful lot to me that you accept them like you accept me, and I sincerely appreciate that. Thank you both very much.
We're now going to move on to the rest of our resolutions this evening. Our next is resolution number 4-20, appointment of Township Auditor Bowman and Company, CPA PC, Daniel DeGangi. Resolution number 5-20, appointment of the Township Engineer, Consulting and Municipal Engineers and Associates, CME, Douglas Romeyer. Resolution number 6-20, appointment of broker for property and casualty insurance, Hardenberg Insurance Group, Richard Hardenberg. Resolution number 7-20, appointment of broker for health insurance, HR&S Financial Services, LLC, Kurt Strommel. Resolution number 8-20, appointment of specialized legal service, issuance of bonds, Parker McKay, PA. Resolution number 9-20, appointment of our prosecutor, Donna Siegel Platt, Esquire. Resolution number 10-20, appointment of the township prosecutor as prosecutor of violations of the township zoning, land use, and building codes, ordinances, and regulations over which she has jurisdiction, Donna Siegel Platt, Esquire. Resolution number 11-20, appointment of our public defender, Maury Cutler, Esquire. Resolution number 12-20, appointment of conflict public defenders, Edward H. Mulvihill, Esquire of Mamano and Mulvihill, PC, and Michael Smolensky, Esquire. Resolution number 13-20, appointment of engineer consultants for the Environmental Commission, Consulting and Municipal Engineers and Associates, CME. Resolution number 14-20, appointment of the Township Sewer Engineer, Churchill Engineers, Inc., Louis I. Garcia, PE. Resolution number 15-20, appointment of Special Co-Attorney, Platt and Riso, PC, Stuart Platt. Resolution number 16-20, appointment of Architect of Record, Land Associates. Resolution number 17-20, appointment of Conflict Attorney, Platt and Riso, PC, Stuart Platt. Resolution number 18-20, appointment of an independent registered municipal advisor, Phoenix Advisors, LLC. Resolution number 19-20, appointment of real estate property broker, The Property Alliance, Dawn Wallace. Resolution number 2020, appointment of special projects engineer, Churchill Consulting Engineers, CME Associates, Environmental Resolutions, Inc., and Key Engineers, Inc. Resolution number 21-20, appointment of Class 1, 2, and 3 members to the Voorhees Township Planning Board. Class 1, the Mayor. Class 2, Mario Di Natale. Class 3, Jason Ravitz. Resolution number 22-20, appointment of Mayor's designee for the Voorhees Township Planning Board, Andrew Schellenhammer. Resolution number 23-20, appointment of members of the Voorhees Township Planning Board, Anthony Nassini, David Kleinman, Mark Kleinman, Ron Schwenke, Andrew Brzezowski, Troy Bracco, alternate 1, Brian Stein, alternate number 2. Resolution number 24-20, appointment of members to the Voorhees Township Zoning Board, Neil Cooper-Smith and Karen Veer-Panu as alternate number 1. Resolution number 25-20, appointment of members and staff to the Voorhees Township Environmental Commission, Edward Harold, Chairman, Douglas Gaffney, Frederick Coyote, and Kendra Cornwall, Secretary. Resolution number 26-20, appointment of members to the Voorhees Township Business Development Committee, Harry A. Platt, Township Committee Liaison, Mario Di Natale, Emily Morgan, Joseph Perno, Michael Cherkis, and Christina Riders, Secretary. Resolution number 27-20, appointment of members of the Voorhees Township Cultural and Diversity Committee, Stephanie Fisher, Zahida Rahman, Edward Trueblood, Young Orr, Lisa Rose Witherspoon, Chetna Gayani, Sam Eunice, Vladimir Bokal Yabov, and Patricia Staten. Resolution number 28-20, our consent agenda, which on the agenda is resolutions 2920 through 4220. Resolution number 43-20, adoption of our 2020 state contracts. Resolution number 44-20, authorizing an agreement for extraordinary unspecified services for dental insurance. Resolution number 45-20, authorizing an agreement for extraordinary unspecified services for life insurance. Resolution number 46-20, approval of the appointment of a crisis intervention team. Resolution number 47-20, recognizing the CERT Racist Team as authorized service volunteer organization of the Township of Voorhees. Resolution number 48-20, appointment of the Voorhees Township Safety Committee, Stephanie Capone, Maria Windebach, April Harrington, Kathleen Green, Patty Bowerly, Lawrence Spellman, Joseph Lavallo, Chairman, Burl Tyler, Secretary, and Tony Marula. Resolution number 49-20, authorizing the tax collector to cancel small balances. And resolution number 50-20, setting the cost of mailing tax sale notices. Do I have a motion for approval of those resolutions?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none of those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Next is comments from our committee, and I want to jump in first because in my emotion about talking about my children this evening, I left one out. I'm very proud to have a 5-year-old little guy named William, and he started kindergarten this year, and he started T-ball this year, and he won the home run derby for T-ball this year. So. He's got a sweet left-handed swing, and he's got a cannon for an arm, and I'm very proud of the little guy. So sorry about that, but I had to mention it. So any other comments from our committee this evening?
I forgot Larry Spellman, who's only in charge of the whole town, and Larry works tirelessly with all of us crazy people and our boards, and deals with a zillion emails coming from a zillion directions. So thank you for your service to the town, Larry.
And Mayor, those of us who know you after you talked about your adult children and you dove into all of the things that you have attended in the past year when you were talking about diversity, those of us who know you know that Will was on your hip or holding your hand during all of those. So he was in that initial speech in spirit. We all know that he was there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mayor, I just want to say one
Yes.
thing that I think everyone's thinking. That was really unfair and intentional helmet contact yesterday against Carson. I just had to get that off my chest. So
No more go Eagles, Harry.
Yeah, let's say go Eagles now until
you can
September.
still say it. You can still say it.
Go Birds.
Didn't the New Orleans people file a lawsuit last year?
Yes.
Our final portion is our public portion. If there's anyone from the public has any questions or comments this evening, please come forward.
Seeing no one, move to close public portion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public portion is closed, and we are adjourned. Good evening and happy New Year.